Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today, I'm going to be doing my weekly wrap-up for the week ending February 15th. This has been a really busy and productive week. Before I start talking about what I read, though, I wanted to talk about just a lovely little package that I received in the mail this week. I received this envelope from my dear friend Alex at Alex Unabridged. And in this package, first of all, was this beautiful card, this note card, and this is artwork by Alex. This is his own creation. So he designed, he did the kingfisher on the cover, and he designed this note card. And then also in the package was this magnetic bookmark of the planets, because in my tag video on bookmarks, I had one of the questions was about, do you have any magnetic bookmarks? And I said, no, I don't. And I actually had just bought some as gifts for someone. And I said, I happened to say, I would like a magnetic bookmark. And so Alex saw this and picked it up. And it's also symbolic because Alex and I are both on an adventure to read both classic and contemporary science fiction. So he thought that this symbolized our mutual interest in this genre, and I think it's just delightful. And in addition, he also included two zines which he has produced. This one is his own. This is his own writing and his own artwork. The Mountains Are My Safe Space. And this all of the text in the book was written by Alex, and the photography is all his photography as well. Just absolutely stunning landscape. I think most of these are in some favorite hiking spots in Wales. And the writing is all his as well, about his hiking into these natural landscapes. And then another zine that he included is this poetry collection. This is called Tonight I Will Become. And this is a collection of new writing from members of the Cartwheel Arts LGBT plus writing group in the, I guess this is Rockdale Borough and North Manchester. And Alex designed the booklet and did all of the artwork, I believe, as well. Did certainly all of the, the graphic design. I don't know if you're aware, but Alex is this year doing the design of Trash Tales with with Criminale. This is sort of volume 2. We had Garbology come out on August 1 of 2024, and this coming August there will be the second collection of trashy literature, and Alex is working this year with Ollie to put that together, and he's an extraordinarily talented graphic artist and designer. Alex, if I haven't told you enough in our private conversations and emails, please know how much I absolutely cherish our friendship and your presence in my life. And thank you so much for these very, very thoughtful gifts. Now I'd like to just talk a little bit about what I've been reading this week. I've been reading with Angelia's group Endless Drama, where we're reading 2 plays a month. And this week was the wrap-up of the discussion of Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun, which I actually talked about last week. I might have jumped the gun a little bit on that. And then now for the second half of February, we're reading Suzan-Lori Parks' Topdog, Underdog, which I read on my Kindle. I don't have a hard copy of this. Parks received the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 2002 for this play. This is a play that chronicles the lives of 2 adult African-American brothers, Lincoln and Booth, so named as sort of a joke by their father. And it's, just about their relationship and their ways of coping with a very troubled family background and poverty and racism. We'll be reading this, discussing this for the last 2 weeks in February. In addition, I made really good headway this week on Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov. The Ulysses 6 has become the Brothers and Sisters Karamazov, and we've been joined by several other booktubers, both content creators and subscribers. And this, for me, is a first-time read. I've read quite a bit of Dostoevsky in college and in graduate school, but somehow I never read this great novel. So you'll be hearing more about this probably from a number of people over the rest of February and through March. Right now, I've just started book 5. I've also been participating this year in a delightful reading event, and I'll list all of the hosts below. But this is Holmes is Where the Heart Is, and this is a month spent reading the works of Arthur Conan Doyle, the Sherlock Holmes stories. Last week, we read a novel. I read A Study in Scarlet. This past week, we've been reading short stories, and I've been reading my short stories, my picks, in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. All of the stories in this collection originally appeared in the Strand magazine throughout 1891, and then they were released in this in a collection of the stories. What's kind of cool about this particular edition, which I got at a library book sale for $1, is that this is a reasonable facsimile of how the stories appeared in the Strand, and it includes all of the artwork. So that's just been really kind of neat to see. So far, I've read in this collection, I've read A Scandal in Bohemia, The Red-Headed League, A Case of Identity, and The Boscombe Valley Mystery. Now, for the upcoming week, we're supposed to be reading a pastiche novel because there are, I don't know, hundreds, maybe thousands of novels that have been written to continue the Sherlock Holmes stories. I haven't decided if I'm going to read a pastiche novel, I have one picked out, or if I'm going to continue with the short stories. I'm so enjoying these short stories, just reading one a day, that it might make sense for me to just keep going with those. And I own, in a couple of different collections, I have all of the short stories, so I might just keep going. But if I do decide to read a pastiche novel, I've decided to read Anthony Horowitz's The House of Silk, which has come highly recommended. Let's see, the Pineiro project. We are on a gap week this week, so we weren't reading anything, but this coming week we are starting Betty Boo, the sixth novel in our Pineiro project, which is a project to read all of her novels that have been translated into English. I haven't started Betty Boo yet. I will be starting that this weekend, so I'll be talking more about that in the upcoming week. Let's see. Additionally, I've been participating. This is a year-long event in the Simak 2025 reading or read along, and this is a group that was started by Sean D. Standfast, and there are several people in this group whose names I'll list in the notes below, but we're reading a novel by Clifford D. Simak each month, and this month we're reading Cosmic Engineers, and I'm just absolutely stunned by this cover. Let me just move that. In the Simak group, I believe we're having a live stream to talk about this novel on Saturday. I think it's March 1st. Whatever that Saturday is, March 1st or March 2nd. This novel was originally written in serial form in Astounding magazine, and it was originally published in 1939, and then it was released later. It was published later in 1950 as a novel, and according to Sean, because he's read the Astounding serialized version as well as the novel has been, this edition that we're reading has been slightly expanded from the original that appeared in Astounding magazine. This novel is about a group of men from Earth who are reporters, who are, flying around in a spaceship. They work for the Evening Rocket, and they encounter another spaceship in the orbit of Pluto, I think. And they end up making contact with this ship and actually boarding this ship. And they find a woman, Caroline Martin, a woman astronaut who has been in a state of suspended animation for over 1,000 years. And they awaken her and find out her story, who she is. She's actually a very famous person. They actually knew about her, and they set off with her to find this sort of robotic alien race known as the Cosmic Engineers. With the Cosmic Engineers, our human characters become engaged in an incredible quest to prevent a catastrophic collision of two universes. This is Simak's first published novel. So it's really interesting to me as a relatively new reader to the genre to see where it all began for this really famous and most influential writer of classic science fiction. For Mary Andrea's book club, the Books and Bocadillos book club, we are reading the works of contemporary Latina authors this year. And I have just started this week. I'm a little bit behind the rest of the group. I've just started Xochitl's, Gonzalez's Olga Dies Dreaming. I'm just about 100 pages into this book that a bunch of people have already finished. This is her debut novel from 2022. Hopefully I can make more progress on this weekend so I can participate in the Discord conversation. I'll talk more about this one soon. For Black History Month, I've been reading a bunch of things. First of all, what we're reading for Angelia's group, Endless Drama, both of those works that I just talked about, those are written by African American writers. Additionally, I was reading this week the poetry of Langston Hughes, and I did my Poetry Thursday episode devoted to his poetry. I had highly recommended to me by my friend Lecton at Reading Through the Depths. He recommended that I read Tananarive Dew's novel, The Reformatory, which is considered contemporary horror. Before I get into The Reformatory, which I did find in my library, I decided to read some of Tananarive Dew's short stories. And so I've started this collection, Ghost Summer. And I'm just stunned. These are really, really good stories. I think this might be the first collection. She's new to me, but she's certainly been around for a long time. This was written in 2015. I think this is her first collection of short stories. Really, really good. And I'm going to try to finish this before I try to read The Reformatory. This coming week with my friend Debs at Rainer Reads Stuff, we're going to be reading, and this will be a reread for me, Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God. I did a video on this novel last week in my series on books I loved to teach. Zora Neale Hurston is a major figure in the Harlem Renaissance. And when I did that video on it as a book that I love to teach, Deb said that she has been wanting to read this novel and she has it on her shelves. And so we decided that we would read it this coming week for Black History Month. So I'm looking forward to rereading that. So that's what I've been reading and what I'm planning to read in the coming week. There are a couple other events that I'm still working my way on, but didn't make significant progress on this week. So I'm not going to talk about those today. But it was, in terms of what I did read, I feel really good about, having made some serious headway, in some of these things. And it was a very productive week in terms of making videos. This week I did a tag video for Valentine's Day. I did the BookTube anniversary tag this week for my 1-year anniversary on BookTube, which was February 11th. I did episode number 12 in Books I Loved to Teach, and I did that on Alice Walker's novel, The Color Purple. I did Poetry Thursday on Langston Hughes, and I did a response to Gareth at Book Songs and Other Magic. He did a video on love in all its forms, talking about books that represented the different kinds of love according to the ancient Greeks. And I did my version of that as well, which was just a really delightful thing to think about, and a wonderful video for me to make. I really loved working on that one. And now this wrap up, that makes 6 videos for this week. So I feel like it was a good way for me to observe my 1-year anniversary on BookTube, and thank you, to everyone who watched the anniversary video and left me such thoughtful and kind comments. They really warmed my heart, and I'm so appreciative. A lot of people joked about my always saying I'm glad that you're here, but I really am. I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm really glad that you're here with me. So, as always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.